Hey guys, so I'm here with actual recommendation that comes from the heart here. If there's one thing I hate, it's promos, and more than anything, I hate people who promote things that they don't legitimately use. And me myself, I just look at it, I'm like, hey, what's the point of this? But then I realized something here. I use platforms quite a bit, and I don't pay for any of them. I don't pay for YouTube. I don't pay for Google. I don't pay for my PlayStation. I don't pay for any of this. And I don't pay for Anchor.fm, which is the platform I use to record these podcasts. So when I realized that it's giving me so much, it's giving me a means of making an income. It's giving me a means to express my opinion, which I feel I have a pretty good one about most things. I realized that if I had the chance to get back to Anchor.fm, maybe this could get me into heaven. And here, I'm going to sell you on Anchor.fm like no one's ever sold anyone on anything before. Number one, again, it's free. What are you doing with your life other than posting awful emotional memes onto Instagram and Snapchat stories? People don't look at that, but I guarantee you, if you're funny and emotionally stressed, you'll get an audience on Anchor.fm. You'll get some kind of podcast audience. It may not be the one you want, but you get somebody. There's editing tools. You can kind of like crop out the moments of crying and tears and failure that went into the life that you live. You can cut all that out. You can replace it with different music if you want to. And speaking of music, it's linked up to Spotify. It's owned by Spotify. So you have the means of adding whatever song you want to from the Spotify catalog. You can also get it distributed for free. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and et cetera, anywhere you get a podcast from, anywhere. The remnants of MySpace. You can put it on there if you wanted to. So anyway, and more than anything, which again, I've talked to a little bit, income. You can make money from your podcast. It's more simple. I have my homie who links up with me. Pause. He's a supporter. All someone has to do is support. They put in their card. They go to the support option. They follow the link to your Anchor.fm to go to the support option. They subscribe. You get the money every month. It's just like the 1st and the 15th, man. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And here is my closing statement. Download the free Anchor app, Anchor.fm app, Anchor app on Apple, Android, etc., or go to Anchor.fm to get started. You don't even need a mic. You don't need anything except a computer/phone and some kind of wit. And hopefully you can develop that somewhere along the way. That's it for me. Hope y'all enjoy this. What it motherfucking is, what it motherfucking was, the nigga with the motherfucking podcast buzz. And tell us it's a Sato podcast, back on another episode. And it's hot as fuck in here, so I don't know how long it's gonna last. I just turn the AC on because, shit gonna sound awful if I leave the AC on. God damn, it's hot as motherfucker. Alright, so we got some shit to talk about today. And it falls in the umbrella of, is it 2010? Motherfucking iCarly's biggest show in the world this week, iCarly, Miranda Cosgrove, and Tyler the Creator is making music with motherfucking Hot Feature. Can you believe it? Any motherfucker born before 2010, can you fucking believe it? I don't even know what to say, dude. But here we go. So we've had this previous May, but let's go back a little bit. So December 2019 is the 10-year anniversary of Bastard, and Tyler drops nothing for that. He acknowledges it, gives a little tweet about it, and then goes on with his day. So nothing for that. We go 10 years to Goblin, last May 9th, which is like a month ago. Last May 9th, post some covers of Goblin. The main one, some alt covers, a cover of Yonkers. Wax poetic about you had to be there, air was different. Yonk, She, Tron Cat, Analog, AU79, that's it, them still good. Tyler has been on a record on saying that a lot of the shit he made, like when he was depressed, the shit he can't really like listen to that much anymore. So I see why like a lot of that shit just doesn't fuck with for whatever reason. It's just, I mean, it's like if you were a kid, if you're like a painter and you start as a kid, and the shit you made there, you try to come back to, you probably wouldn't fuck with most of it anymore. Just from a professional standpoint, if you're a programmer, you look at whatever programs you made, you wouldn't really fuck with it. It's just that simple. It's just when you progress, shit you made before you don't really like. Now, obviously, a lot of people like me that came up with Tyler in 2010, 2011, 2012, whatever, always get slighted by him pretty much doing intentionally the most to ignore that period of time happened for him. But I'm a grown ass person now. Like, I still prefer like the original trilogy Tyler. I still prefer like the originality that came with that, all that shit. I would still also say that a lot of the shit he does nowadays, and I've seen the original, I don't like it in comparison. I mean, it's still like, I guess, good listens, I suppose. Like, Igor is objectively like, some songs in there are worth listening to, and then Flower Boy has some songs that are lyrically very strong because he is, more mature as a rapper now. But I'll be damned if I think he's anywhere near as good or interesting as an artist. That's just me. But I still do follow him because he is Tyler the Creator, and he is somebody that basically helped me discover my palette in music, and amongst other things. So we come to the end of May and the beginning of June, and we see these well, actually not the middle of June. These videos, these Instagram posts, more colorful palette bullshit, and then one tweet with the caption "Side Street" on Twitter is him kissing some chick, and then towards the end of this 39-second clip, the chick, who I guess just got a drive-by kiss, ends up reconciling with Taco, who is apparently her boyfriend for the sake of this video. He drops a number on Twitter that has voicemails, and these voicemails, I didn't actually listen to them, but these voicemails apparently appear to be instrumentals that a voice memo of Mom and Tyler will play, and let's see. Yeah, the instrumentals in the background there. I don't want to go off to all that shit because I don't want my shit taken down. But yeah, voicemail 3 is 3 voicemails. And this is his rollout. I mean, this is a guy that's very creative for his rollouts. With Igor, it was him going across the fucking universe in that fucking Igor outfit. That fucking... God. Listen, again, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it was artistically very progressive. I mean, like, even with the Weeknd shit, I really don't give a shit about what Weeknd was doing with his whole, photoshopped face, I know the red uniform and all that bullshit he was doing with After Hours. But artistically, it is progressive. You need to take risk to really put music forward. Like Tyler, even if Lumberjack was bad, which I think Lumberjack is a good song, I think it's a really interesting song, matter of fact, I still would be like, okay, hey, this nigga's trying to do something different than the project before. And what the fuck is wrong with me? To make this come full circle, on Spotify, all streaming services, 2 albums of his, Cherry Bomb and I believe Wolf, got album cover updates. One being like, I think 8 years old. I think Wolf is from 2013, same year as The Doors. And then Cherry Bomb's from 2015, so 6 years old. I believe those are his 2 favorite albums, if I remember correctly. I think when that answer that I'm thinking about was given was before Igor, so I'm not sure how that worked. He might have. He views Wolf differently than he does Goblin Ambassador, so I'm not sure how with that. But I know that Cherry Bomb's his favorite project that he made. And you come to this song, Lumberjack. Shout out to KTT niggas. I see a lot of people in KTT that really think that this song is like a blend of Wolf and Cherry Bomb Tyler. And then a lot of people just view people that aren't as, I guess, interested in making comparisons on Twitter and such, view it as being a fusion of Tyler from like our Future era and like Tyler post coming out the closet era. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm just saying, like, No, I think I think that's a pretty good divider. I think if you really want to put it down to something. A lot of people wouldn't say that, but if you really want to put it down to a major figure, I would say that Garden Shed verse is like this is one Tyler, and this is another Tyler. That's pretty much where you can make the divider at. But yeah, so hey, again, more power to him. He could have came out as gay 10 years ago, and as long as the music was good. I mean, most people thought he was gay anyway 10 years ago, so it's not like it matters. But this is the crux, the crux of what I wanted to say in all of this. It's like Tyler trying to bring back some old vibes from this. It really sounds like he's trying to do some old, like kind of more methodical rapping, less safe. Because I would say one thing about Tyler since about 2017, 18, he's a very safe artist. I think he's trying to put, again, safe being like relative. Like, I mean, like, the shit he kind of does now isn't like harmful to anybody. Let me put it like that. So when I say safe, think about it like that. I think he's trying to push the envelope more with his rapping. I think he's trying to actually just rap more because a lot of people like complained about you or not having rap. And he kind of has made his point in the lyrics of Lumberjack that, you know, people want this old shit back. Here's a fun comparison. Again, kind of made this point on KTT. When you hear the Grill's lyrics, or not lyrics, but kind of like ad-libs, I guess, or DJ drops on that song, and you hear what Tyler's saying, it reminds you a lot of Stone Mountain. Well, not actually, it reminds you a lot of Royalty, but I think it always kind of reminds me of Stone Mountain Kawhi. There's not really a massive difference between Gambino on Stone Mountain versus Royalty, but Stone Mountain does have Gangsta Grills on it, and it kind of reminds me the meshing point between those two, to the meshing point of Tyler and him on this song. It actually, like, topically also reminds me because they both are trying to prove something rapping wise on those projects. So that's interesting, something just to note about. We could be getting a lot of people pantomime that based on the kind of real sweet gimmicky Tyler shit that we kind of got in terms of the instrumentals and the voicemails. He could do another double album like Gambino did with that project. I would think so because, I mean, there's not really you're trying to be in this aggressive, like, hard-ass guy, which you usually, if you don't know what Gangsta Grills is, when people put Gangsta Grills on a tape, because they're trying to make hard shit. And Pharrell, who I actually did an episode on Pharrell's Gangsta Grills tape, I think a month ago. It's from 2005. And Pharrell, who is Tyler's idol, did that same shit under the guise of these niggas are gonna sing song ass nigga, I'm gonna drop a hard ass album. So it wouldn't be that fucking crazy. And that was In My Mind, the tape, which was pretty much a polar opposite of In My Mind, the album, which did have some rapping songs, but for the most part trying to be a polar opposite of that. I kind of think, for better or for not, that's what Tyler's trying to do with this. Make a double tape. Maybe it doesn't come at the same time. Maybe he drops. This is supposed to come out. It's actually just been tweeted earlier today. His official website page and all that shit. Call Me If You Get Lost drops June 25th. That appears to be the actual album title, not just a single. So I would think that it's possible he drops 2 albums within a reasonable amount of time. I mean, who knows? It's certainly possible. I would lean more towards double album, but we'll see. I mean, 1 week away. I think Lord actually was supposed to drop on June 25th. I don't think that was confirmed, but I remember with her leak, the leak of her song, that June 25th was supposed to be a pretty prominent date mentioned, but maybe she won't do that. But also, I just want to say for this, Earl Sweatshirt retweeted the video of, what's it called, Lumberjack, and he captioned it, niggas doing they shit. Of note, Taco was in the video, like I said. L-Boy and Damo Genesis were actually on ad-libs for Lumberjack. So that is at least 4, if you're counting at home, 4 are future artists who are in some way tied to this project. God almighty, if you give me just one Earl and Tyler song at 21, I will come everywhere in this fucking universe, every motherfucking where will be filled with. Listen, let's just speak for this moment. I think I've done this before. I don't know if I actually went through with it, but I think I've actually pantomimed on what a Tyler and Earl album would be and what the meshing point would be. You have Earl now on this kind of, Alchemist Griselda tip with some of his Lucy's and verses for the past year, but trying to lean towards a harder, more cutting edge lyrical style for his next album. You have Tyler the Creator trying to rap his ass off and prove that he's still a good rapper for his next album after being a pretty interesting rapper for the past 2 years post Igor in all of his features and Lucy's. If you give me a Tyler the Creator song rapping at his absolute best, the Earl Sweatshirt rapping at his absolute best, I will come everywhere. It will be filled. It will be new galaxies of. Just give me Rusty Part 2 or Ass Milk Part. Yo, if you give me Ass Milk Part, I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna bullshit you, dude. If you give me a verse for verse, like dynamic duo style, fucking Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, like just trading verses, a la Ass Milk, and 13 years ago now. Part 2 for Tyler and Earl, dude. I'm gonna fucking pull the load, dude. And they were depicted together. I think it was because of like a holiday. Earl had a kid. Tyler was doing like some camp or some bullshit. But they were depicted together, I think like early last year or late 2019. So they're like close, close enough anyway. Oh God, please give me Earl Sweatshirt and Tyler.